Hey, this is Matt from tpstool.com. I've got an example for you today. This is for the Polaris Patriot motors. This one's a little different than most in that the TPS is not adjustable. I'll show you what I mean, but you can take a measurement. The Patriot motor is used in a bunch of different snowmobiles. This is for the 2020 through 2021 AXYS, the Rush, Switchback, INDY. I'll put a list below in the description. There's a bunch of motors, but if you've got the 650, the proper reading is 0.78. Volts at idle, and if you have the 850, the proper reading is 0.86 volts at idle, so we can check that. I'll show you what I mean about not adjustable. So I've taken out one of the screws for the TPS here, and notice it's just a hole, it's not a slot, so you're unable to rotate the sensor. I've got another one over here, this is out of a different snowmobile, and you'll notice that this one's got a slot, and so you can loosen the screws and you can rotate the sensor to adjust it. So that's what an adjustable one looks like. So now I'll go back to here. So, unfortunately, it's not adjustable. We can take a reading. Let me stick that screw back in, and then we'll get started. All right, so we've got that screw back in. So this one's actually got an interesting plug. It's triangular, and notice it's got really thick pins in there. It's very similar to, but not the same as, the Model 2, which would be, this is the other side of it. And again, the kit comes with a whole bunch of adapters. In this case, since this one's not adjustable, we don't have a direct fit adapter, but you'll use the, you will use the universal adapter, which is this guy here. And so the way we're going to connect this is by sticking these on the individual pins. On the meter side, you're going to connect like this: black and ground, red and FB or feedback, and green and 5 volts. And then, in this plug, I'm going to connect like this. Red goes on here. And I should point out, since these little pins, before I do that, so I used a little screwdriver. The pins inside this plug are really thick, and that's okay. All I did was take a little screwdriver and widen these up a little bit, stick this in and make these a little wider, and then they fit right on. And so I would go ahead and do that, and if you have any trouble, let me know. I can help you out. So here, we're going to put the red on the leftmost pin. I'm trying to connect these while looking through the camera. It's a little difficult. It's actually slide right on. Then the one next to that is going to be green. Get that guy on there. And the bottom one's going to be black. If I can see what I'm doing. There we go. So that's how we've got it connected. Red, green, and black. Okay, grab our meter and flip it on, and there's our reading, 0.83. And so, again, for this one, we're actually off a little bit. Unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do about it. 0.86 is ideal, and this one's reading 0.83. You can make a minimal adjustment, not much. So we can crack these guys open. And we'll try and rotate a little bit and see what we can get out of it. 8.2, yeah, I guess we can get a little bit. There we go. That's about the extent of it. If I adjust as much as I can, from about 8.1 to about 8.6, so yeah, not much adjustment. I'll try and hold it on 8.6 and get it tightened up and see if we can make a good reading here. It may move a little bit when you tighten this. This is a T25 bit, back to 0.84, so there's not a lot you can do to adjust it, but also you can test to be sure that the TPS is good. To do that, open the throttle slowly, watch the numbers. They'll change smoothly without jumping around, all the way to full throttle, and then all the way back down. And if it was bad, if the TPS was bad, you'd see it jump around. It might read 0 in the middle. It might not change for a short period of time. Stuff like that. So again, unfortunately, this one's not adjustable. At least not much. Not much. You're kind of stuck. But you can, again, tell if you're out of spec. Now you can what can you do? You can try and adjust it some more, a little bit. I don't think I have much luck with that. But you can check that it's working properly. You can check the reading that you're getting. Again, I will list everything below that this applies to. It's their Patriot engine, which is used again in a bunch of Polaris snowmobiles. I hope this helps. If anyone has questions, please post them below or shoot me a message and I'll help you out. Thanks a lot.